As I'm quilting along, the tripod got in my way and it jogged my machine. So I just lost my positioning. So you can see right here, as this comes around here, it jogged. Instead of going smooth, it jogged. So I lost my positioning. I have to reposition. Not a problem. So I know that we talked about points, matching up points, and I could match up this point right here. And so on my screen, I want to find that point. So as I move across here, that's where it is, but it shifted. So as I look at my screen, I can see that it shifted over there. So I put my crosshair on the point that should match up here, but if I started stitching again, it would actually start here. So on my screen, I'm going to take my crosshair and put it right at that point, and if you need to zoom in so you get a really accurate point, move your machine to that point. Now I want to press the drag button. So what the drag button does is it grabs a hold of that point so that I can move it. So press drag, and now I need to put my needle over to here. So my needle represents where my crosshair is. So if I move my needle to that point, right to there, and then drop it, they are both in position. Crosshair is at that point, my needle is at that point. I have just repositioned. Now I need to change my start point bullet over to this area as well. So I go to quilt, to new start end, and then I can see here's my thread. That's where it went. I'm okay. I'm going to go right over a few stitches before that, and I'm going to press the Start Auto button, and it'll move my green bullet to my crosshair. So you can see that as I do it on the screen. Now I want to press it again to turn it off or to lock it in place. So I press it and it goes light green and my bullet is locked in place. Again, I do not want to have my my start or my tie off or my pull up. I'm going to do those manually. So I'm going to go to my settings for right now to tie off. I'm going to turn both of those off. Well, turn off my start. I don't need to turn off my end, tie off end. I'm going to turn off my pull up just because I would rather manually do this. You can leave those on. I kind of like to manually do it so that I know things are where they should be. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my bobbin thread. And one thing you can do is you can take your thread and swish under here, and it brings up your bobbin thread for you. So you didn't even need to move the machine aside. And now it's going to go ahead and start taking stitches, and it will stitch right over the top of those previous stitches and lock them in place. So I go back to quilt and press run and proceed, and it's going to go ahead, position, and we're positioned and we're quilting away.